Hello everybody, Jeff from Wccftech here, reviewing Rebel Galaxy. Have you ever wanted to be Malcolm Reynolds? What about Han Solo? As silly as that question might be, of course, you probably have thought about doing that. So this is kind of your chance to enter like a real space western and choose your own path and make your way as a pirate, a trader, a miner, a bounty hunter, all of those things if you want to. And this is all while you try to find your aunt and unlock the secrets of a mysterious artifact that she's left to you in a vast procedurally generated universe. Rebel Galaxy really manages to set the scene of it taking place in a space western universe through an absolutely outstanding soundtrack, which happens to be the highlight of the game for the most part. And there are a number of tracks by Blue Saraceno. A number of the other tracks are equally brilliant to listen to as well, and just absolutely fantastic. And it really does shine through and make you feel as if you're in that space western type atmosphere. And everything fits in well, and to top it off, you have the option of adding your own music to the list of tracks if you want, if you're not really into the twangy guitars and whatnot. But you know what's really special about Rebel Galaxy that's different from any other game in this particular genre? Any kind of space sim genre? It's actually really simple when you think about it. This is sort of an arcade version of your X games, you know, X3, X2, etc., X, Rebirth, Elite, and any of those types of games. Really, this is the arcade version. It makes it a little bit more accessible, a little easier for everybody to play, and it is incredibly freaking fun. Sometimes the ability to just jump in and worry about the horizontal, not necessarily the vertical, it's kind of a brilliant thing, really. It adds a little bit of ease to it. Like I said, it's a lot more accessible for anybody of any experience level. But with that, you're on a fixed plane, the horizontal plane. You don't worry about that vertical plane, and you just go forward or backwards or side to side, and that's it. And the combat all takes place within that horizontal plane. It's really quite fun and smart the way that they did it. And while, of course, you're not in that vertical plane, the enemies can be, but of course you're not hindered in any way by that. Your enemies can fly around you, but your weapons can actually target and lock onto them and, of course, fire at them. So there's really no worries. There's nothing to worry about. It's not hard by any means. In this, your ship can have 18 different weapons, which can be split into 5 distinct groups. So you've got the broadside, secondary main, missiles, beams, turrets, all that stuff. And of course, you'll need to be in charge of your broadside and secondary weapons at any one time. The AI will take care of the rest, which is brilliant. As well as, of course, they're going to control the mercenary wingmen that you might have if you happen to hire one. And of course, they all attack based on the specific commands that you set. Sort of like an RTS, so to speak. And what this means is that you should, or should you want the AI to only use missiles on capital craft ships, then that's what you set, and that's what you get. It's pretty great. It's simple, but it's also very effective in the way that it works. So your focus is solely on using the big guns and avoiding damage, while everything else just sort of takes care of itself. When you first start off in Rebel Galaxy, you want to avoid as much as possible, because your ship is not going to be that powerful, unfortunately, and the game never really tells you how much of a threat another ship is. There's only some sort of color coding with your current situation. But later on, when you get larger ships, you can take a lot of blasts and use your deflectors, and that becomes a very viable tactic. And it really does let you see some of the most impressive fighting, combat, light shows that you'll ever see in a space combat game. And this is especially the case when you jump in the middle of a fight between two factions as part of some side quest, of which there isn't an infinite amount in this game for some reason. It's great. And it's that which is probably the greatest selling point for Rebel Galaxy for a lot of people, because this will last as long as you want it to, and the larger battles are outstandingly fun. There are 5 factions you're going to encounter along the way. You've got the Citizens, of course, the Militia, the Red Devil Cartel, the Doublejack, Thugs, and the Korean Outsiders. In addition, there are both a Traders Guild and a Mercenary Guild. This diversity is, however, hindered by the fact that despite the faces that pop up on screen being different, there's very little to actually differentiate one faction from the next. And the underlying story, unfortunately, which there are a handful of missions with this, it's quite anemic at best, and it's only there really to give you a reason to visit all the other systems that litter your end of the galaxy. And of course, that is only a starting point for what you can actually do in the game. And it is held together with some surprisingly brilliant voice acting, something you wouldn't expect from a game of, let's say, this size and this budget. And this brilliant voice acting also extends to the random encounters that you come across when flying through space, from the traders and pirates, militia, and even the bartenders and guild masters. It's quite nice. The biggest drawback here, with the 20 hours that were spent with Rebel Galaxy, is a lack of purpose. There was never really any sense of urgency between the primary missions, and eventually you get downright bored of the randomly generated missions that you go through, mostly due to them repeating themselves over and over again, but just in a different asteroid cluster or what have you. So they look, for the most part, identical, and they do play the same as well. You might be bored, but that's a trap, because really, once you break away from all those procedural generated missions and you delete them from your log, etc., the pure unadulterated joy of the combat reminds you why you have fun with this game in the first place. It is exactly what Rebel Galaxy is, a lot of freaking fun. I'm Jeff for Wccftech Reviews.